It is 12:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Canadian Time, February 10th, 2023. And we already got some folks here. It's already a party. Thanks for coming by. All right. Just for fun, I'm checking how long it takes for YouTube to hold this live. All I've done is open a can of water and say hello to everybody. I'm just refreshing. All right, I'll check that later. That's not an entertaining way to open. Well, it's not a bad idea then again, because it's supposed to be a live chat, not so much something that you check out later. So we got some folks in here. Let a few more folks get in here. How about we greet people? Let's not be too hasty. Good evening, FBRC from Cali. Thank you, Cali love, Leela and my dog Scruffy. 2 cats and 1 dog. Everybody likes dogs and cats around here, which is good. Hi to you too. I'm going to refresh my other browser. There it is. All right. There it is. This video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. It remains fully playable and is eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. Of course, that means 2% of the audience request review. Again, to reiterate, this video may earn limited or no, they mean to say no, 0. This video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. So apparently opening a can of water and saying hello is not suitable for most advertisers. I confirm this video meets YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines. Yes, it doesn't have any drug use like Chantal does. Okay, now that's been sent. And I haven't given you guys anything more than 5 minutes of notice that I'm going live tonight. So it's going to be an intimate gathering as we first get going. All right. So here's, I hope you're digging the thumbnail. It's a picture of a beautiful Muslim woman wearing the hijab right next to Foodie Beauty's latest banner change for her channel. We don't have any footage because we don't need it. More will come in. Thank you. Hi there. How's it going? Not too bad. So with those that we have in attendance right now, get your comments happening. All right. So here's the epiphany. Like when I was writing my community tab posts for yesterday, because now it's February 10th. So I was doing a community tab post for February 9th. And I just realized that, because I'm not Muslim and I don't have any Muslim friends, I'm Ontario or Canada. I'm pretty much white bread myself. And you guys know that when Chantal started this stuff, I had a problem with, or not a problem, given that Chantal is just so vile, right? Because, that video that I made, which some are calling a documentary, well, it was more than 2 hours, which says that Chantal's not Muslim, never has been, never will be. I did the juxtaposition of her taking her vows, yet after she took her vows, the footage of her saying about Nader El-Shami doing any woman he can get his hands on, and the wording that Chantal used was, any hole is a goal. And I'm looking away as I say it because it's just vile to say that. Chantal talks more dirty and vile and rude than any guy buddy I've ever had in my life. I mean, she's especially disgusting. And let me just adjust that. Yeah, that's better. And yeah, she is so gross. Thank you. Now there's a supportive comment. Exactly, she's so gross. And yeah, so I didn't want to, I always referred to the hijab as the attire, and I referred to Islam as the religion or the faith. You guys know that. That's the way I handled it at first because Chantal is so vile. I didn't want to use the proper words because the subject matter, Chantal, is she's worse than a man. Yes, with her dirty talk. Yes. Thank you. See, you guys are the part of that's why it's community, right? Chantel's idea of community is to do this: ban, 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 ban. Comments must be appreciative and positive, or you will be banned. Oh, the most important, powerful thing Chantal has in her life: banning people who feel vulnerable and charging them $5 each for the privilege of being able to make comments. And Colleen with a K, thanks for coming in. So, I didn't want to use the proper words. So I didn't say hijab. I said the attire. I didn't say Islam. I said the faith or the religion because the subject matter, being Chantal, is so vile. And as Elura Jeanette just said, she's worse than a man when it comes to her dirty talk. And so eventually I started using the proper words because I thought that somebody would have done something because she keeps making a mockery of that religion. I can't understand how she's allowed to keep doing it. And so as long as she's going to keep doing it, then I start to look silly by saying, the attire of the faith. I got to call it what it is. So I do, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I've always had respect for anybody who has a belief and follows a religion, a faith. Yes, thank you. Nobody should be speaking that way. Chantal going on there saying any hole is a goal. Ugh. So I always had respect for it, even though I'm not part of that faith. I always had respect for it. And I have respect for anybody else's religion, right? And with all that said, I don't have any Muslim friends because I just haven't known any. And I don't know any Muslim women either. And so this is the epiphany that came to me, right? Because I know what the hijab represents and everything. And I've only seen a few pictures. I just noticed that, thank you. And I've heard less, I love that one though. You are right. I'll just leave that up for the whole evening. Rabbit Cricket says, I've heard less vile talk on a Saturday night in a full bar than what goes on in a Chantal video. Thank you. Yes. And I am right. Let's remember. And of course, because we're all right together. How's that to be a politician? Yeah. So this is the epiphany I came to, that because I don't have any Muslim friends, which is just the way things went, because it's not, I'm, like I said, I'm pretty much white bread myself from Ontario, Canada. And I don't know any Muslim women. And the epiphany was, hang on. The epiphany was this, that I've been looking at so much footage and pictures of Chantal live action role playing or LARPing as a Muslim woman, that I realized that, like, now when I look at pictures of real Muslim women, it's like I'm thinking of Chantal because I've poisoned myself so much. And so that's like one of the epiphanies I want to share with you guys. It's like, pick a reaction channel, hopefully me, or start one yourself. It's just like I wasn't always looking. And now I realize that, I look at a picture of a real Muslim woman because I've been exposed to so much Chantal poison. I'm thinking Foodie Beauty. That's disgusting. That's evil. That's like a collateral damage. And probably a lot of you will feel the same because, it's pretty much the same audience here, right? Right? Like there's I think I've seen like 2 of you in my chat that say that you're Muslim. Right. So that's like a side effect, right? I mean, that I've been having to pay attention to so much of Chantal's garbage, trying to make the argument to YouTube, would you please get rid of that thing? That it's like, wait a minute, I'm thinking Foodie Beauty. That's effed up, man. So that's just another toxic aspect of what Chantal is doing. And, maybe some of you feel the same way, right? And I have another. Here's the other epiphany I came to when I was talking to Tubby Nufkin. I hope I'm getting the name right. Who is another person in the community here. He's got a squirrel in his avatar. When I was talking to him and I replied, I said, because we both think that, there's going to be more tragedy happening with this toxic web of lies that Chantal is spinning, along with her side actors like Natter. That probably Frenchie and Yaba, who were already off camera when Lenita Brown took her own life, they probably know that this Chantal toxic mess is going to hurt somebody else before it's all over. And that might be, you guys can tell me if I sound nuts or not, that might be part of the reason why Frenchie and Yaba, who I believe are like the closest sidecars to what Chantal does. If there's another one, I don't know it. They're the most complimentary sidecars. And I only talk about the ones that I know about. I was in the Frenchie live streams when she gave a pass to Chantal for making fun of 9/11. And when Chantal was briefly kicked off of here and on Patreon, and I reported Chantal to Patreon to give them some of her history, Frenchie was forced to deal with my name as it was raised in the chat, FBRC. And she said, we got to give have to give Chantal a hustle or else she'll go on welfare. And then Frenchie will have to pay for it. And as you guys know, I corrected her several times on that. And I'll correct her again. Welfare is handled by the provinces, Frenchie. You don't have to pay for it in the Belle Province. So it'd be me who have to pay for it. And my opinion is Chantal on welfare, what that mean to me? Like another 25 cents a day? Or not even. You don't even notice it. Millions of people in the province, one more clown on welfare, Chantal. You won't even feel it. So, and my experience with Yaba was we were friendly. And you guys have seen the clip where she said, "You one of the best reaction channels out there. Put some respect on his name." And then I called the grocery store and she put a knife in my back. So I can only speak to the ones that I know of. And so those two complementary sidecars to the evil that Chantal does, which is to keep putting out there a fake, very dramatic story based upon lies, that might be, so there's my other epiphany, that might be the reason why Frenchie and Yaba are off camera and probably never coming back. Because when the next tragedy happens to follow the Lenita Brown tragedy, of which they all have blood on their hands for, Frenchie and Yaba don't want to be seen on camera with footage being involved with any of this shit, which is why they're off. I mean, they would make more money if they engage with their audience by going on camera. So if they're only here to get their share of this filthy lucre, wouldn't they go on camera? And as obese women, wouldn't they identify more with their audience? Wouldn't their audience feel more comfortable having women just as fat as they are or even fatter? It would mean more money. See, they have established themselves in the minds of their audience that they know what Frenchie looks like and they know what Yaba looks like. So they can carry on with just their pictures and their memories and they don't have to see them anymore. Now, so that's my opinion, that these sidecar dirtbags, Frenchie and Yaba, know probably that there's going to be more people hurt with this mess before it's done. And that's why they don't want to be on camera. They've turned themselves into radio dramas. They're just voices. This is YouTube, which is supposed to mean you on television, not you on a podcast. And they've both withdrawn from camera. Let me get to your comments. Well, there's not much I can use here with the comments. However, I'm glad, Ilera, that you don't watch either Frenchie or Yaba. However, a lot do. A whole lot do. So those are my feelings. But come on, we got 44 people here. Somebody's got to have an opinion. Like, what do you think? Don't you think it's a little poisonous for those of us who don't have Muslim friends to expose ourselves to so much Chantal footage that we start to think of foodie beauty whenever we see a Muslim woman wearing the hijab? And the other half of it, hey there, Damon. The other half of it, the other epiphany is that Frenchie and Yaba know there's going to be more tragedy connected to this horrible story, this fake web of lies. Okay, Sean, American Rebel, if you just want to come here and make jokes and trying to be serious, you're worried about China, not foodie, well then, bye. And usually I talk to people if they want to come here and be jerks. It just, there's no footage. I'm being serious, talking about someone who took their life over this, and you want to talk about the Chinese balloon thing, all right? So you're blocked. You're never coming back. Sean, American Rebel. Bye. Yeah. Thank goodness for Damon White. Imagine people actually believing that Chantal is the way Muslims act. You know, and I keep saying, like, when I condemn Chantal as being atheist, I'm not saying you have to have a faith. You can be a good person without a faith, right? You can be a good person with a faith. You can be a bad person with a faith and be a faith and be a hypocrite, and you can be a good person with a faith, right? So, for her to be acting that way regularly, ongoing, I mean, this might be the only exposure that people have to a Muslim woman if they don't have Muslim women as friends in their lives, and they think that Muslim women act like Chantal. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Lucy Forever says, my concern is that I've said bad things to Foodie with the hope that I did insult real Muslims. Hope that makes sense. Well, I wish that whatever, like, there's, for Jewish people, there's the Anti-Defamation League. I would expect that Muslims have something like the same thing. Why haven't they contacted YouTube? How can this just how does this carry on? I don't understand it. We all have access to instant communication. It's cheap for the most part. And Chantal just carries on with this stuff. And my Chantal news, for lack of a better term, don't forget Missy Moose, she got a hand in it. She might be behind the scenes still there. Yeah. Well, more than just Chantal giving Muslims a bad image, which we already know. It's just, I was just struck by the epiphany that I haven't had much reason to look at, pictures and videos of anybody wearing the hijab ever before. And then I realized that after watching so much Chantal stuff and the pictures and stuff, trying to get YouTube to come to reason and get rid of this thing and letting people know that it's a live action role play and that Chantal isn't trying to impress a man and she didn't go all the way over there just to find a man. She's working together with another dirtbag. And the reason why he happens to be from that part of the world is that's where Nader is from. That's all there is to it. And she wears the hijab like a costume because it covers her bald head and her enormous blubber and her enormous gut. That's all there is to it. Unless you believe that Chantal really prayed to God and was answered with a miracle and given salah. Come on. Hopefully nobody believes that here. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Thank you. Yeah. 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 It's just toxic for us. Well, like you said, Lyra, she hasn't met a Muslim in real life, and she's 54. And that how poisonous it is that, whenever I see that black outfit, I'm thinking Foodie Beauty, which is like, oh my gosh, what happened? We've all been watching too much of it. And my interest in it is to document the evil that this thing Chantal is doing and hope that YouTube comes to reason and gets rid of it. and to let people know, if it's going to be sustained, that it's a live action role play. And all you have to do is just note the truth. I mean, there's no way that someone who's married to a Muslim man and claims to be Muslim herself is going to act like such a pig. Not even just in public without a camera. Nobody's going to go on camera and broadcast it and seriously claim to be part of the faith. She isn't. She isn't now. She never was. She never will be. As I said in that video of mine, she's not Muslim. She never was and never will be. The only way she could make an argument that she will be is if she just walked off of her channel and said, enough of making a mockery of somebody else's faith, and I'm going to try to do it, and I'll come back later with no more struggling. As soon as she got back to Canada, oh, I had a struggle. Get out of here. You had a struggle. You never had to try. It's just the same thing like with her weight loss challenges. She doesn't really try to lose the weight. She pretends she's going to try. She gets interest, clicks, and money. She says, oh, I failed. She gets interest, clicks, and money with hate. And at the end of the day, she cashes in and just moves on. Thank you, Hankster. Oh, yeah, we know they don't act like Chantal. It's just that for those of us who have never had a Muslim friend or, had, a Muslim woman in our life, because it's, not part of our circle of friends, it's poisonous for us to even look at Chantal dressed up like that. Well, as long as you typed it and I didn't type it. I mean, it's part of the chat, so I'm not going to read it out loud. Yet, I suspect that she just doesn't care, because Chantal said on one of her previous live streams from a couple of years ago, just do what you want, eat what you want, die by the time you're 60. And the reason why I don't show that is because it's from somebody else's channel and the footage has been ruined because there's goofy music playing in the background. So it'll get a copyright, not a strike, it'll get a copyright claim. And anyway, she did say that. And so, so what did Chantal do yesterday, right? So she came up with some live stream. What was it called? Oh yeah, I don't even know what she did on it, right? I put it in my community tab. So it says in my notifications 6 hours ago, Chantal did a live called "I've Had Enough!" Exclamation, 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 exclamation. Whatever she did in there was, planned baloney. I don't know what she did. Then 5 hours ago, which means like less than an hour after she got into that, Nader came live and said, mental high with hijab on, be proud, salad. And I grabbed his thumbnail and I put it in my community tab. So it's there if you want to look at it. She took her live down and he took his live reply down. So they work together. I mean, this isn't a coincidence that she goes live with something, then it's dirty deleted. I said this a long time ago. Her with these dirty deletes is just to create excitement coming from a loser who is very boring and doesn't do anything except stare at the carpet and come up with dirty stories out of a dirty imagination all day. That's all that's going on. And Nader Al-Shami, just look at him. Listen to him talk. He's a fucking zero. So they're back to working together. Remember when Chantal was in Kuwait and she promised to charge Frenchie with criminal harassment for going to the fashion show? As soon as she got back, she said. And she's been back for about 10 days. So where is it? Where's the first court appearance? Nothing. And she said she was going to Nader for the revenge P. All right. Where is it? Where's the first appearance? Nothing. They just return to the same formula because it works. And, it's for the same reason that, well, I was going to make a little joke about something untoward about why does a dog do something? Because he can. You probably know what I mean, right? Why does a dog lick its, its own butt, or whatever you want to say? Why? Because it can. So, because Chantal is welcome here, she just uses the same lying formula, unbelievably, yet again, because she can, because it's allowed. So that's what happened yesterday. She does another manipulative live stream. Natter, surprise, surprise, answers it, and he already has a thumbnail ready to go from a guy who can't even turn on a computer without fucking it up. Yeah. You see, that's what my reactions are about, to note all the things besides the fake story and say, yeah, here's more proof that it's fake. We already have more than enough proof. Like, I'm beyond trying to prove it. It's fake. It's all fake. And so where's the charge in Frenchie? When's the first court date? Where's the charge in Natter? They want to pretend that they hate each other when they're really working together. That what I want is Chantal going on and saying the first court date with Frenchie is such and such, and you can all come by, and you can also sign up and watch it on Zoom, because apparently now there's cameras allowed in the courtroom in Canada. I didn't even know that. That's what, like, the last couple of years because of COVID. Where does she say, like, Natter's going to be in court? And some of the fake reaction channels is like, yeah, they're going to be around in the parking lot shooting footage of him on his way to the courthouse. Yeah. We get back into your comments. Yes, that's right. Yeah, most of the time Chantal's just boring. I mean, you take her out of the townhouse within 5 minutes. That's no fun. If she was a person with a real disability struggling in a wheelchair, you could respect them and wish them well and carry along with them a decent person struggling with a challenge. Chantal just chooses to live a hedonistic lifestyle, not by getting boinked by strangers all the time. It's by sitting around the townhouse and eating crap. Yes. It's gone on for too long. I mean, it's so apparent that it's all horseshit. Well, that's just it. I mean, some people need a faith, and I don't mean it like they need it like they're lacking in something, and others don't. I can articulate morality with or without religion. Sometimes it's nice to have a religion to bolster it, and other times, right is right, wrong is wrong. I mean, Chantal is not struggling to fit into Islam, making mistakes along the way and getting high. It's all a joke to her. Any reasonable person can discern that. And with local law, Karajay, I know that's what the court represents. The court represents what a reasonable person would think, say, and do. That's what it says in Canadian, probably the same in Australia too, because we're both based upon, the British way of doing things, for lack of a better term. And yeah, Chantal mixes up civil and criminal. Yeah, it's one thing to be struggling. Let's say Chantal really was like struggling with addictions, and no. If you're struggling with addictions, then get off camera and get yourself together, because she's had all the opportunity and all the money. That's why it's difficult for most people to make changes, because it comes down to how much free time do you have and how much money do you have to turn away the burden of doing normal work to go work on yourself. And she's had like fortunes and all the time in the world. She's got no responsibilities. I know that's lost on her Beezer supporters. that Chantal and Pete's, which is another sidecar, both are always squawking about the USA when the USA provides the food on the table for both Chantal and Pete's. And so the American audiences, it's mostly an American female audience. Why they tolerate Chantal, I don't know. And I don't know why an American company tolerates Chantal making fun of American tragedies, such as 9/11 and those kids getting shot at the school shooting. It's like, what, do they need Chantal's money that bad? And that's right. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't. And by getting together with Frenchie and posing for pictures afterward, I mean, it's gone. And like when Nader Elshami said he was going to sue all the reaction channels, I went to a reaction channel. I gave them $5 for using their footage. And I didn't pay too much attention to the channel itself because I think they believe the official story. I'm not going to mention the name of the channel because I'm pretty sure they believe the official story. Anyway, this person, I gave him $5, right? What the heck? Paid them for using. So Nader said he was going to sue all the reaction channels if he didn't stop talking about him or take down. What was it? Oh, retract the counterclaims. That's right. Nader said if you didn't retract your counterclaim, which you can't even do, once it's in, it's in. And besides, it wasn't him striking the channels; it was Chantal. He said he was going to sue them all. And I went and I got the footage of him, which was a compilation video published by this other channel. And it was all him making wild, violent threats and talking crazy talk. And once I had that, and I published it here on my channel, I said, Nader can't sue anybody for anything ever. It's still, it's strong evidence that, like, what's he doing on the platform? Talking violence. And remember when he was pretending to beat up on Didi? You remember that? That was part of the footage, right? So anybody that goes and makes footage like that and offers it if it's real, even though it's fake, you can't sue anybody for defamation because you already put yourself in the toilet 10 times over. Yes. Bourgeois, you're just in, you're out. Have a good night, y'all. You've been here like a minute. Is that what happened? Hooligan says, I hope this drastic script backfires. Because even though Chantal did the live and Nader did an answering live, I don't know what the hell they did. I only get the notifications in my thing off to the side there. So I hope this drastic script backfires. Nader is about to announce that they are broken up or that Foodie Booty has contacted them again to create more back and forth. Yeah, exactly. As long as those channels stay hot, every time Chantal looks at her bank account around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, that's when it shows up. Because her account is in a bank somewhere in Ontario, Canada, just like mine. That's when you get it. You get like a day later than Americans do. And it's always going to be like, around $12,000 or whatever deal she's made with Nader. Chantal is moderation. So Chantal is incapable of moderation and self-regulation, hence her attraction to these so-called dominant men. In reality, both Sal and Nader are pathetic. Yeah, they are pathetic. Yes. Yet, I hope we're still on the same page. I don't believe she's attracted to Salah. They're working together. I mean, I don't believe it's coincidence that she happened to, get involved with a guy from the same part of the world that Nader's from. Nor do I believe that she prayed to God, then was given a miracle of a man. And you're American too, and you can't stand Foodie. Excellent. It is weird. Like, I don't know what interpretation they're sustaining about self-harm. It's just Chantal's like 450 plus pounds and inhaling, loaves of bread and cheese and laughing about it and washing it all down with Pepsi. Well, even though I feel sorry for Candy, hungry fat chick, as long as she just sits there and says, hey, I'm fat. It's a fat girl's channel. It's just that Chantal has got so much other toxic stuff going on, in addition to just be heavy. Oh, Natter's got a live planned. Let me check. I got them all on speed dial. Oh, I see it. There it is. There's 22 waiting for him to get started. Yeah, Nader El-Shami, the master chef, who's live streaming all day, all the time. Let me look at his recent numbers. 3 days ago, 2.2 thousand. 2 days ago, 1.9. 2 days ago, 1.2. 1 day ago, 6,000. And the title is, I'm not happy. Don't ask me why. Wow, there's a lot of dumb people. 9 hours and 40 minutes. Let's do it again. A day ago, 1.1 thousand. It's a sweets night, 1.8 thousand. Let's chill. 554 views an hour ago, and he's got 22 waiting for him about to go live next. Yes, that's true. That's true. You know, as Canadians, we can let our armed forces slide and not spend money on it because we're friends with the United States of America. And so Pete's can talk all this horse shit. And it's like, yeah, who's our buddy? The USA. Yeah. So no one's gonna mess with Canada because we're good friends with the US of A. And you guys know I'm pro USA. Hey, Betty Boo. Thank you, Pink Unicorn. Her charging natter, that's BS. I'm Canadian. If the woman drops the charges, the crown pursues them. Thank you, Pink Unicorn. Betty Boo, she just makes it up as she goes along. Truth plays no part in her life, only views. Yes. In memory of John Mordaunt. Hi. Hi, thanks for coming by. Yeah, I believe with some of that, you know, if you get a bit of a rough childhood, maybe you got a bit of a challenge. Yet there's good people who suffer bad childhoods, and there's bad people who have been blessed with lovely childhoods. And given what little we know about her mother just seems to be like a pretty harmless bit of a loser. You know, I don't think Chantal had the shit kicked out of her when she was a kid. I think she's taken advantage early and learned that's where it's at. There's a quality about that thing, Chantal, when it's telling its lies. You can just tell there hasn't been any changes in that piece of crap since it was about, 9. Yeah, I know. And she said on the stream that I reacted to that, give him a break. Cut him some slack. He's new to the camera. English is not his first language. And I said, if you guys are really in love and English is not his first language and he's new to the camera and nervous, that would make it all the more cute. It would be even more fun. Yet we get none of that because he's a poor actor. And the language just makes their lack of chemistry that more apparent. Yeah. Thank you, Blue Daisy. I'm Canadian too. In Canada, it's not the woman who presses charges, it's the police and the crown. It's impossible to withdraw charges. Only add another statement to what you already have. Thank you. I'm going to leave that up. And Chantal was very spoiled growing up, says Pink Unicorn. Yeah, we can tell. Mm-hmm. Yes, Sarah Jane. People like Pete's trash the USA, but he never talks about Canadian politics or Trudeau. He's an entitled person, and he's lived a very sheltered life. Yes, Sarah Jane. I wish I could fill the whole page with all your comments. I love your comments. Like Trudeau tried to take away hunting rifles about a few days ago. He tried. Already it's like let's say you're a responsible next door neighbor, somebody you try. Let's say let me grab somebody's picture. Sarah Jane. There's Sarah Jane. That looks like a nice lady. Let's say Sarah Jane's your next door neighbor, and she has a little bit of a concern about burglars, and so she gets herself a revolver. We wouldn't have anything to be afraid of. She's a normal person. She's just worried a little bit about somebody getting into her house. So if a normal person's got a handgun, I could care less. She's not a danger to anybody. Sarah Jane probably got a normal job, normal apartment, whatever. And in Canada, as of October of last year, you can't have a handgun. Even though I'm pro firearms, American way, in the United States, maybe I might like it if you had to jump through a few more hoops before you buy something. With that said, it doesn't matter how many hoops you jump through. You can't have a handgun in Canada anymore. And Trudeau tried to take away hunting rifles, so like a few days ago, and he had to stop it because he tried to do a sucker punch. I don't know the full story. He had to withdraw it all. Yeah. The comedian Chris Rock had a great saying though, which should please everybody. He says he's got nothing against people owning guns. He just wants bullets to cost $200 each. Isn't that's smart? I like that from Chris Rock. It'd be great. So you have your firearm to protect yourself if somebody breaks into the house. Yet if you get angry at somebody you can't stand, it's not like you're just going to take pot shots at them. And plus, your anger would subside if you had to go spend $200 for each bullet. So pizza is just so full of crap. Hooligan's got a bit of a story here. Yep, I didn't testify with my ex, but the Crown had enough evidence based on a lady who called the cops. They came and left. Then her husband killed her, so there's a law now. Great comments, you guys. 79 people here. We got no footage. No footage. We're just hanging and talking. Yeah, I guess that was the first problem. Yeah, I'm not giving Chantal a pass for having, a teen mom. Sometimes, the mother can overcompensate. Well, we already know, right? Chantal got spoiled. And Pete can crawl under the rock he came from. Yes. Well, we had somebody in New Brunswick, I believe, a few weeks ago here in Canada, die in the emergency room. It was a woman waiting to get treated, and she had to wait for so long, and she was in so much pain. She was the wife of a firefighter, and they just leave you in the hallway. And when Canadian politicians say our healthcare system is the envy of the world, no. And I thought about that because it happened a couple of weeks ago. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with it. A Canadian woman who died in the not on the operating table or anything. She was waiting, and her husband kept saying she's in more and more pain. She was curling up into a ball and throwing up. She was in so much pain. She was bleeding to death internally. There was something wrong. They still haven't done an autopsy, as far as I know. Of course, everybody's suing everybody, so I'm not well versed in all of it. And I thought to myself, you know what? I wish we had the option in Canada to, instead of spending $40 on a case of beer for the big game on the weekend, buy medical insurance instead. Yeah, I'm not trying to get salty with you or nothing. Of course, if our governments weren't so far in debt plus interest, there'd be more than enough for everybody for everything that we'd ever ask for. So that's a whole other subject. That doesn't surprise me if Trudeau said that you have no right to shoot someone in self-defense. Yeah, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. That's probably next, if Trudeau stays there long enough. That's true too. And then of course, only the bad guys have them because they're not going to go through the normal channels. Well, that's what I always said. It's like the way things are now, just show up. I'm going to visit my family. They are beasters. Once you get here, claim whatever you want. Take a long time just to even begin the process to get rid of you. Maybe he thinks it's going to be cleaner by going in with Chantal. I don't know. Then again, we don't really know what the hell it is. Whatever it is, it's a business deal. It's not. They're not in love. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're all in. Well, I'm envious of you. That's great. 1.3 acres out in the woods. Just that's beautiful. Good for you. Mm-hmm. Well, I still believe that human beings have a right to medical care. I mean, how else do we define ourselves from the animals? Like, if you're a human being, you need help, you should get your help, right? And that gets back to what I said earlier. It's like if we weren't all so in debt plus interest, there's so much money that's available for everything that we need. We don't have to be fighting over it. Here we go. Here the stories are coming out. Same in the UK. My friend's husband died waiting on an ambulance. He was 36. Here at New Brunswick. Here's New Brunswick. I'm in New Brunswick. The wait time for us in the ER is 24 hours. I went. I had a lot of pain, waited over 24 hours, and got COVID there. See? Carriage hay. Trudeau was probably referring to proportionality. Can't shoot someone if they come at you with a feather duster. I've never owned a firearm in my life. I've admired them. I've never owned one. It's just a drag to have the option taken away. If you ever wanted to, even just for the proper target shooting, right? I mean, you're not going to go get angry and go hang out in a bar and try to pick fights. There's video cameras everywhere. Why would anybody do that? Shoot. And the bad people do that to each other anyway, right? So what's the difference? No, I've never owned one. It's just here in Canada, we no longer have the option to have a handgun. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. That's not just returning to what we're talking about. Story from Damon White. I'm Canadian. I had gone to emergency room because I had a bad fever and terrible pain in my abdomen. I think I was there for 2 days. Couldn't sleep because of the pain. Couldn't eat. Had a kidney infection. And you're there for like 2 days trying to figure it out. Sarah Jane Trudeau gave a speech a few weeks ago saying that Canadians have absolutely no right to defend themselves with firearms and that firearms are only for hunting and sports. You can find the video on YouTube. I believe you. That sounds like something he would say. When the truckers were getting together in Ottawa to protest the COVID laws, for lack of a better, mandates, did they call them? Trudeau demonized them all as a bunch of fringe maniacs, which is disappointing to have a prime minister speak that way. I'm not a fan of Trudeau. Of course, it's okay for the government and Trudeau to have firearms, right? Just not everybody else. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's good too. Well, they're expensive. Yeah, it's just a little too easy to get them in the States. That's the only complaint I would have. You get them too fast. Just like a few more hoops to jump through. Just, and still you should have them. If the government can have them, why can't everybody else have it? What, like governments don't make mistakes? What's the one party that kills the most people with guns? Governments. Yeah, that sounds legit. Yeah, Trudeau, he wants to create a situation in which he can bring more gun laws to bear and look like he's fixing things when he's actually creating the problem. Yeah, Trudeau doesn't fool me. That's right. I remember that part of the story. It's supposed to be a free society, right? And the truckers had their bank accounts frozen. They couldn't organize, a free country, right? And they had their bank accounts frozen. And then who do you go to? You want to tell the story. You go to the CBC. Yeah, the CBC gets $1 billion worth of funding from the Canadian government every year. They're very much supportive of Trudeau. Hello, I remembered how to say your name. April Slauch Molen. That's pretty good. That's better than me saying Slag Molen, right? Slauch Molen. Thanks for coming by. Pink Unicorn says, I've never seen a Muslim woman with makeup where I live. That's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned it. That foodie Chantal cakes on the makeup and then goes through a Samsung filter. Yes. If the government can have them, everybody else should too. I'm all for more hoops to jump through. Jump through those hoops. Yet you should be able to have something at the end of all those hoops. Well, it looks like we might be steering over to another conversation. It's like, did she have medical insurance? I mean, it costs. It's just here in Canada, we're taught to waste our money on beer. The big game. Okay, all right, sports are nice. It's just like, every time there's a big game, you got load up with like cases of beer. So there's other places where we could be putting our money. Everybody knows I'm pro USA. So, I mean, it's a sad story. It's just that myself, I wouldn't characterize the USA as being that mean. And thank you too, April. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Something else she didn't keep her promise for. Oh yeah, I don't give Chantal a pass. Very happy that you enjoy the sound that we're producing. We hope you have a good time at work. Thanks for stopping by for us for a little while. Teresa says she worked in the Toronto Police Headquarters gun registration unit. The amount of guns confiscated was unbelievable. Here's a non-lethal weapon called the non-gun. Can't kill anyone, but hurts like a mofo. Well, not to be a comedian, it's just like if you shoot that at somebody, it doesn't going to do the job. And you're just going to get them angrier. So maybe that and a pair of running shoes for yourself. Someone's breaking into your house. Oh, yeah? Well, I got this. Ow! What did you just do? Look, you better get away from that guy now. He's really angry. Good job. Moody's on a lunch break. Still coming by for us. Thank you, Moody. I remember the song from the producers, the 1969 movie. Lorenzo C. Dubois, who also went by the initials LSD. Get it? Lorenzo C. Dubois. He had a song called Love Power. It's so funny. And the dance he did with it. And part of the lyrics was, if everyone in the world had a flower instead of a gun, there'd be no more wars. There'd just be one big smell-in. That'd be nice. If we could snap our fingers and everybody doesn't have them, the government included, yeah, okay. I'd be up for that. No guns for people, no guns for governments either, all at the same time. Everybody drop them. Gone. Chantal puts it on like a trowel, with a trowel. Cranberry juice. I remember Sarah Jane. It was years ago that I think it was, what's her name? Rosie O'Donnell? You never hear about her anymore. She was like a big, no guns type of person. And then it was revealed that she had a special permit for a concealed carry. Yeah, they're all hypocrites. Like, what are the politicians going to protect themselves with? Super soakers filled with urine? I don't know. Thank you, Sarah Jane. Yeah, funny that she got her nose pierced in a tattoo to go along with her hideous tattoo. Just before. That's another indication. Thank you, Kara J. She should have said it in her baby voice. And just before I take the vows, here's what's going to happen to that horrible tattoo. And then to be like, that would have been good television. I'd have to admit. And then it's like, it's all red. And she goes, well, it's going to take about 8 days of healing, maybe 2 weeks. And then we're going to go ahead with the vows. And then she comes back and it's like, well, no, every day. Let's check on it. And then we see that, when they blast the tattoo off with a laser beam or whatever they do. And then she goes and takes the vows. No, she takes the vows while she's got 2 women licking each other on her chest. Aren't they devils too? I mean, I can't remember. Like they look like demons. There's 2 female demons licking each other. Just bouquet slap fights. See, we got talent everywhere here. That's funny stuff. Just bouquet slap fights. Mm-hmm. A good thing to bolster that sounded correct. To speak to that a little bit better, there's someone in Montreal, Quebec. A bus driver drove into a children's daycare center, killed a couple of kids, and it wasn't on the bus route. People could take automobiles, knives, all kinds of other stuff and kill with them. Like what? Okay, let's use the same argument, ban everything. To which the people who want no guns are going to say, yeah, well, guns are a whole heck of a lot faster and easier, buddy, than an automobile or a knife. And okay, I hear you. All right. This is like a nice guy, Damon White. Huh? Damon White. Is that your real picture, by the way? I'm going to say that is your real picture, right? Okay, so Damon White's your next door neighbor. He's got a revolver. He's a normal guy. He's not going to do anything with it to you, just like he's not going to run over you with his car or pick out a steak knife and chop you up because he's angry, Harmless in the right hands. That's it too. Yes. Yeah. Here we are forgetting to speak to the biggest things. Yeah. What Muslim women do we know are high on drugs on camera? Yeah, keep that a secret. Rabbit cricket. Too late. Oh, well, it's just us. It's just us. It's just you, me, and 73 others. Yeah, and the fries. Handbags at dawn. No guns. And the big bear headed straight for your place. Are you outside? I said, not for long. Okay, I'll do it now. Okay, get over here. Yeah, these are my they're friends of friends. Say Beezer. Beezer. Come on, say it. Say it, Beezer. It means doing drugs and being a pig. Beezer. Beezer. Ah, I'm beezered out. That's too strong for me to do too many of. I can make that beezer noise with 3 times in a row and then I'm done. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't go over there, okay? Don't go over there. I just checked the Natter's live stream, and he's got 295 people there. And the title of it is I'm Single. I mean, who cares? I mean, whether he's telling... None of it is true, because they're all just acting. Because if he and Dee Dee were a real couple, especially with Dee Dee being a little bit older, they wouldn't go on camera and make fools of themselves all the time. It's not a real couple. So, him saying he's single, so what? So what? Granny's purse. Yes. Around here, Canada, a moose can kill you and your car. Correct. Thank you. I called it. That's you. That's a real picture. Yeah, that's right. You know, the amazing Salah, if that's even his real name, which I doubt. Yeah. I remember Joe Bonamassa, great guitar player, blues stylist. And he said, if you do anything for 10,000 hours, you're going to become very good at it. And he says he's put in certainly more than 10,000 hours of playing. And for Chantal to sell Salah as being good at playing the keyboard is effing joke. Yeah, they can't look like Streetwalker. I wish we had like a bit of the American Constitution here. Our friend in the Netherlands, April Slagmolen. €6. Thank you very much. We have the cat coming for you, April. We thought you were going to work. You're going to be late for work. All for us. Oh, we got the cat coming. We got the cat coming for you. Here comes the cat. Super chat cat. And as you start your working day, this cat wants you to do well and blesses you with good luck. So I hope you have good luck in all that you do. And he's digging his claws in my hand. He says, that's my job. Okay. He's beckoning good luck to you. Look, yeah, could you let me talk? Oh, look, the camera's working perfectly. Thanks, April. Yeah, okay, I'll try really hard. Slow, moaning around. Okay, I hope I did an okay job. Because I'm just a cat. Anyway, I'm a special cat. I'm an Asian lucky cat. Wow. So here we go. April, 3, 4, Super Chat Kate! Super Chat Kate! Thanks for blessing us, April. We hope to bless you back. Super Chat Kate! Super Chat Kate! Super Chat Kate! Thanks, April! Wow! I could get that name right. Wow! And good luck to you. And it says, sorry, it's not much, but I hope it helps with your channel. You deserve it. I love your commentary and my thoughts as well. It does help. It's like a different type of currency, and it's from a whole other part of the world. So that's good for the algorithm and all that stuff. So it does help. Thanks very much. Wow. Good luck to you, April. Wow. 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 Thanks. Wow. Thanks. Wow. Wow. Thanks. Thank you, Super Chat Cat. And thank you, April, as well. We're going to leave that up there for a little while. Because when you do that, we let you hold on to the comments for a little bit. And if you make another comment, it goes up there too. I still read all the others. Yeah, single, living at D's house. Well, it's not real anyway, so yeah. Courage 101, Nads and Dee got in a fight. Not for real. Had a mama and a baby moose in my backyard this summer. I had a pack of coyotes at my house at dusk tonight. We need something loud to scare them off. Yes. Yep. Ilura, we got, yeah. I'm getting ready to start at 8:45. 7:45 now. Someone said in the chat, so long as your surname starts with L or Al Chantal, or Al, Chantal will give you money. Pink Unicorn says, I live in the city and crime is getting worse. And all those crimes I heard of just one gun. Also, with, the water and my weight loss, that's another missed opportunity, if you even call it a missed opportunity, because Chantal is not really Muslim. If she would do a legit weight loss and say that her newfound faith is giving her the strength she needs to lose weight. Instead of that, she just goes on camera and swears and talks very it's not just that she swears. It's just, as I said earlier on, you guys agreed with me. She's more vile than, a dozen men drunk in a bar. It's not just the swearing. She's so vile. When she said, like, Natter will just do anything. Any hole is a goal. It's so vile. I have to look away from the camera because I don't want to look like I'm saying it. Well, I'm saying it. I'm quoting. You don't look into a camera and say those vile, rude words. And she does while wearing the hijab and telling people she's Muslim. She's not Muslim. Courage, says Sarah Jane. That's a fat bull. The average size is between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. Did y'all store his meat? It would be ashamed to let his meat go to waste. I remember Ted Nugent was always hunting. He would eat the meat too. And Blue Daisy says, doesn't matter how many laws you make, criminals don't give a flying F about laws at all. True. Well, Sarah Jane's got a donkey that scares off coyotes and our husky. April is still getting ready for work. We hope you have a lucky day. Thanks again. You get to own the comments for a little while. We lost a few. We had, what do we have? About, I think we did we have about 100? Natter goes live. We're down to 60. A few of them left. That's okay. Memory of John Mordaunt says, wow, that's grim. Too much information. What goes on in the bedroom should stay there. Yes. Donkeys are excellent guard animals, says Blue Daisy. I did not know. Moody is still here and still listening. Moody! Moody's still listening. Channel member, thanks for listening, Moody. Chantal's abuse claims against Natter were all lies. She had the time of her life with him, taking substances and being foul. Yes, it was a great LARP. Yet I do believe she was taking the drugs with him, yeah. That's all they were doing. Man would need hallucinogens, stimulants, and Viagra to do anything with Chantal. And I don't think all those things will work together in the way in which they need to do in order to achieve success. Unless, of course, he was hung like a giraffe. Which, in case if he was, he'd be in Los Angeles where he belongs, making movies. See, I could be funny. You hear me? Mr. Furburger? It's Mr. Furburger, usually the king of the one-liners. Sarah Lee's getting ready for bed. April! You still get to own the comments. There's April. Thanks, sweetie. Can't wait for weekend. My husband and I are going out on a date. Hope to see you live again. That's sweet. You and your hubby are going on a date. That's nice. That's a nice story. Thanks for telling us. And I bet you won't be eating Burger King on camera and putting it on the internet like Chantal does. Sarah Jane says we also have a horse. The only thing he fights for is food. Blue Daisy says I showed my husband Chantal and he made gagging noises. Yes, Rabbit Cricket says to Sarah Jane, yes, criminals, they're going to demand very sternly for you to hand over your money, or you're going to get a talking to. Yep. We could trust the criminals will be good with their firearms. You know, they get to have them no matter what, and then the good people don't get to have any. And well, I guess we've at least made it halfway to a perfect world. Let's disarm the good people, and well, the criminals are going to have their guns anyway. Yeah, well, what do you do with that, Trudeau? We thanks, Trudeau. And another thing I'm expecting from Salah at any moment is lots and lots of Harry the hamster footage. You see, that hamster is going to be absent long enough for it to die of abuse and neglect and to be replaced with another hamster that looks vaguely like it. And then with the passage of time, Chantal will say, well, it changed a little. And she'll just keep moving. That hamster's probably dead already. Like Salah's probably like, do I have to put it up with hamster until you come back? Just squash it like you did the other one. Okay, good. Plus, if Chantal says it's there, that probably means it's not there. She said, oh, Salah sent me some video of Howie. He's doing very good. And I said, when I reacted to it, like as if a 7-foot-tall, 30-year-old man who is not into pets is going to shoot footage of a $4 hamster, turn it into a movie, publish it unlisted, email it to her, and if Chantal's going to sit still to open it up, watch it all, and then verify the hamster footage is legit. April. No, sweetie, no fast food for us. I'm a cook. And I'm 41 and weigh 59 kilos, and I train 4 days a week. People usually think I'm in my 30s, lol. I thought so too. You look much younger than 41. The Tone Knob says I started collecting guns 20 years ago. It was a great investment. Yes, Tone Knob, that probably means you're Canadian. So I guess you can still have them. You can still have the handguns if you already had them to begin with. Because I remember there was a buying spree just before the laws were coming in. I didn't pay much attention to it. Then again, it's like I've never owned one. Sarah Jane says of her animals, he gets a lot of food. He's an expensive guy, but he gets the job done. That's your attack donkey. Blue Daisy says my husband is home now, so I'm going to go spend time with him. I don't even have to pay him to like me, lol. April says, thanks. So does my body. My BMI is 20. Very good. It's all fake. I just checked in on Natter. 348 are watching him, saying that he's single. Oh my gosh. Who would even care? He looks like a homeless guy, you know, because he doesn't shave. Not regularly. Not putting the homeless down for anything. I didn't say anything bad. Yeah, if you're a guy and you don't shave regularly and you go on camera, it makes you look like a little bit like a hobo. Like who would take any notice of a fucking Natter? And he's got like 348 people paying attention to him, pretending to have a breakup with his pretend actor, girlfriend. Moody says, I'll just get this out of the way. I'm a fatty. That's okay. Well, April, I can put that up. I just can't say that out loud. And I'm putting it up there because you gave me a super chat. And that we're sure that you're joking too. Damon White reminds us, she's kidding there. Now, in this case, it really is just kidding because it was a joke to begin with. Unlike what Salah said to a live audience. They criticized him a little wee bit. And his instructions were very explicit. Plus, your comments were directed towards yourself, not others. And you were joking. There, we've totally covered our asses around here. Demon White reminds us that Chantal digs hobos who hang out on rocks. True. Unfortunately, they don't dig her. Yeah. Mr. Furberger, where are you? We're holding steady at 60. 60 folks here. Pig Unicorn says, doesn't matter if you're big or small. I'm small and always get from people. Do you eat? Yes, 3 times a day, thanks. Myself, once. That's intermittent fasting. black coffee for breakfast, no lunch, and as late a dinner as I can make it. And then I run away from my appetite. And then it's bedtime. April Molen, get in here. One more, and then I'm going to let some other folks on the comment thing. Or if you're on your way to work, we'll wait on you for one more comment. I'm still reading everybody else's. And besides, like, what did I got my notes here. So I talked about, Chantal wearing the hijab, and we look at that. We look at real Muslim women wearing the same clothing, and we think of Foodie Beauty because this is so poisonous, and we should, get away from it. Except for this channel. The Foodie Beauty channel, yes, get away from that. This channel, no. And it was that Yaba and Frenchie are off camera, probably for the reason that they know there's going to be another tragedy in this toxic web of lies. 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 In addition to the late Lenita Brown, which is probably why Yaba and Frenchie are off camera. As I explained earlier, they would make more money if they were on camera. So when the next tragedy happens and people are playing what they've had to say, there won't be any video of them to accompany their words and the part that they're playing in this toxic web of lies. And what part do I play? I'm asking for it to be set aside. Please, YouTube, get Chantal off the platform, huh? She's making a mockery of a faith she's not part of. The Muslims do not deserve to have to suffer that, okay? Get rid of Chantal, please. That's my good deed for the day. One of many. In memory of John Mordaunt, I could eat enough for 2 people, but I work in a car spares warehouse 4 days a week, so it's a bit like 40 hours at the gym. Yes, it is. And he goes on further to say, dropped my 30 pounds lockdown chonk within weeks of starting there. That is like going to the gym. And thank you, April. Thank you. April, thanks. Thanks, April. Poop. And there's in memory of John. Oh, there she is. One more. And she says, not literally, do anything to stay sane. When you are used to being hot and perfect and always supportive, you can't adjust to being unhealthy. Excellent. Excellent positive comment. Thanks again. Bye. Oh, there she is. April. Thank you. Thanks again. Bye. We're going to wrap it up again. We're going to wrap it up soon anyway, okay? We're going to drive it over an hour and a half. We're at 1 hour and 23 minutes. And we're going to drive it over an hour and a half. So we're going to wrap it up at about 7 minutes anyway. Thank you very much, April. Thank you, April. Tone Knob says Chantal looks more and more like the penguin, also known as Oswald Cobblepot. I'm surprised she didn't get fish thrown at her. Explain to me, says Pink Unicorn, why Pete's can't work. I do contact centers, pays the bills. Yeah, telemarketing, customer service rep, CSR. Yeah, it does. It confuses me too. And I'm going to keep thinking that you're a guy. I'm a woman. The screen name confuses everyone. John was a dear friend and much love. AIDS activist. And that's why I always read the full name, because it must have been someone special to you, dear. And it's a nice tribute, too. And we wish her demise would be hastened immediately. Like, fall down the stairs while you're stuffing yourself. Get off camera for 3 months. Have everybody else move on. Damon White, I'm not familiar with that character. We're going to wrap it up. Let's see. If we're going to wrap it up at 1.5 hour mark, I got to start singing at about 1:29. Okay. So at about 3 minutes, we wrap it up. Yeah, I checked in. I got the title of it. I like how you put broke up in quotations because it's all fake anyway. So thank you for doing so. And again, it's like if that was a real adult couple, if they were together, which they're not, especially with Dee Dee being a little bit older, so it should be a little bit more sophisticated. They wouldn't be living on camera like that anyway. And certainly, like it's not. And the content that they make is they just sit there and play with a tablet for like 6 hours. And like, if you break up, what's the first thing you do? Curl up into a ball and drink booze, or eat a bucket of ice cream if you're a woman, or maybe both for each gender. You don't go on YouTube and type in guys. Yeah, right, and boring. They're both boring people. He's not an energetic, fun person to watch, and Dee Dee is a sack of potatoes. Yeah, he advertises on his channel that he's available, as if anyone cares. Yeah, Pete is worthless. He couldn't change a battery on a smoke detector for 6 weeks. I'm going to start singing at the 1 hour and 29 minute mark. So at about 2 minutes, I'm going to start singing the song. It was a fun hangout. I think we had 100 or almost 100. Did it for an hour and a half. Yeah, it was a good hangout. And we had no Chantal footage because we didn't need any. And still had a fun thumbnail too. I maybe wrote about a breakup online when I was 15 and emotionally driven, says Damon White. That's right. Nobody would embarrass themselves immediately on a YouTube channel. Hey guys, look what happened. Okay, I'm going to start singing at 1:29. Start giving me a sign-off message. Have a good night. Music, stuff like that. 20 seconds, I'm going to start singing. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. I had a good chat. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, April. I'm going to start singing. Here we go. 1 minute. 1 hour, 29 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Chantal, she carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. Chantal, she carries the weight. Chantal, she carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. Chantal. She rolls out of bed with nothing better to do. She rolls right back to bed after the mock bang is through. She makes a mess. She makes a couple of dollars. She gonna do it again. It's all too much for you to understand. Come on, sing it again. Chantal. Oh, she carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. Chantal, she carries the weight. Chantal, she carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. Chantal, 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 Chantal.